To help us understand the dispute between China and the Philippines, we're joined by Don Emmerson from the Shorenstein Asia-Pacific Research Center at Stanford University. Professor Emmerson is an expert on Southeast Asian affairs and an advisor to LinkAsia. Welcome to the show, Don.
Glad to be here.
What hope do the Philippines have in any confrontation with China?
Militarily, they have no hope at all. It's really a kind of David and Goliath situation with one difference, namely, David had a slingshot. And the Philippine military is one of the weakest in all of Southeast Asia. They could not survive a military confrontation with China.
So what do you think? Does Manila have any good options?
I think that their options are limited, but they do have one option that could actually work out. I hope I'm not being too optimistic here. And that option is to treat this event on Scarborough Shoal as a wake-up call for Southeast Asia, but also for China, for the United States, that there has to be a code of conduct on the South China Sea that will lay down rules to which the parties will agree when things like this happen so that escalation does not occur. I think Hillary Clinton should press for this. I think the Philippine government should press for this. An occasion when this might actually perhaps even come into existence, or at least be encouraged, would be in July at the ASEAN Regional Forum in Phnom Penh. Hillary will be there, all 10 ASEAN countries will be there, China will be there. I think this is a wake-up call, and the Philippines has to urge a long run, that is to say, permanent solution. Otherwise, these kinds of conflicts are going to break out in various parts of the South China Sea with possibly disastrous results.
A couple of years ago, China got Southeast Asian nations pretty nervous with its tough claims to the South China Sea. Is there much reaction from them about this current dispute with the Philippines?
There is some reaction, particularly, I think, from Hanoi. The Vietnamese are also very concerned about Chinese claims to the South China Sea, but it's important to keep in mind that Southeast Asian countries themselves disagree about who owns what in the South China Sea. So it's hard for them, as it were, to back the Philippines, because in doing so, some of those countries would abandon their own claims, which they're not about to do.
Is there any indication that the United States will intervene, either militarily or diplomatically? And what would be the fallout?
I think the United States will not intervene militarily, even though the Philippine government would perhaps like them to under certain circumstances. But the diplomatic pressure that the United States can provide under the Obama administration's turn towards Asia, the famous pivot toward Asia, I think that could be quite constructive. But it's a diplomatic effort, certainly not a military one.
Thanks so much, Don. Don Emmerson is one of America's foremost scholars on Southeast Asia. He's based at Stanford University. And you can find out more about Don on our website.
Now on U.S. airwaves, a global channel of uncompromising stories. World news, documentaries, entertainment, and culture. Link TV, connecting you to the world. For more information, visit linktv.org.